Hi, everyone. I hope everyone had a great week. Now, I am going to read to you guys today another book. Now, this book is going to be somewhat related to the other book that I read for you the other day, which was Gus and Me, which was about the about Keith Richards from the Rolling Stones and his relationship with his grandfather. Now, this book is going to be a little bit different, but like I said, there's going to be something in common with these two. Now, the book I'm going to read for you today is called The Three Musicians. Now, The Three Musicians is a story about this painting. Now, this painting is by a painter named Pablo Picasso. Now, as you can see three different musicians. One, two, three. Pablo happens to be in the middle, just so you know. And down at the bottom, you can't really see it, but there is a black dog. So he will play a very important role in this story. Now, this story, The Three Musicians, is written by Veronica Messino and Vanessa He. Let's get into it. The beast was terrifying. A wolf, some said, but a monstrous wolf, bigger and stronger than a fighting bull. In the kingdom of Marauder, few had seen the beast in the flesh. Few had faced it, but all, young and old, knew its name. A name full of menace, and all, from the least courageous to the bravest, trembled when they heard Firemouth. This name was all that King Minos of Marauder could talk about. Firemouth here, Firemouth there. Firemouth had swallowed another calf, devoured 2 lambs, flayed 3 horses, without a single bone left behind. Do you understand, by Jove? We must hunt Firemouth down. King Minos could only think of one thing, the beast. Nothing else could hold his interest. Neither knowledge nor nature, not even love, nada. For him, all that mattered was Firemouth. If you let the beast do what it pleases, one day it will come and devour your children right out of your arms. Yikes! Those speeches were scary. Yet instead of watching out day and night, instead of keeping a weapon at hand, of always marching in step, many subjects of the kingdom would have liked, once in a while, to think of something else. And so, as it turned out, one bright April morning, 4 strange silhouettes appeared in the city. They slipped into the streets, filled with joy, drawing the mark of their 4 mysterious profiles on the sand and bare walls. When the king's bells chimed at 10 o'clock, one of the odd characters gallantly addressed the crowd in the middle of the town square. "Hear, hear, good people," he cried out in a bold and almost sing-song voice. "Many thanks for your hospitality. Here are my companions, Perrault and Capsoun. My name is Harlequin, and here is Cocopod, named for his cocoa chocolate coat. We are saltimbancos, musicians, comedians, jugglers, and a circus dog. We come to entertain you. What tune would you like to hear?" Passers-by had gathered, clearly suspicious but intrigued. Windows had opened, and eventually every balcony was filled with onlookers. But still, the crowd remained silent. "Come, what dance would you like to do? Don't be shy. A slow saraband, or a wild farandole? A crazy fandango, or a distinguished tango? Or perhaps you would rather have a cigadilla, or a flamenco from Seville?" At last, someone spoke up. forgive us. We never dance. Since the beast arrived, Firemouth, we live in fear and no longer have the heart to dance. Tongues loosened, and the people began to talk about the calves, the lambs, the horses, and one day perhaps the children. Others spoke of rounds, spears, halberds, and of this monster, which would not show its face. There they are. My friends, answered Harlequin, you are trying to face the beast, to hunt it, to kill it, in vain. But have you thought of taming it? Let's try to charm it. Who knows? Perhaps Firemouth will respond to music. And so the acrobats got to work. This tune is a Passacaglia. Sing, dance, have some fun. It was a great success. While the three musicians were playing, Cocopod pretended to be the beast, frightening it and ferocious. With all these arpeggios, trills, and tremolos, it slowly began to soften until finally it was wiggling on his back, asking to be petted. People were laughing until their sides ached. What a show! From that day on, life in the kingdom of Marauder changed. People learned to sing, to dance, and to speak openly of their fears, their happiness, and all those things that make the heart beat faster. They soon saw the outside. The spade had replaced the spear, and they saw young sprouts shooting up from the rocks, and green osiers adding color to the scenery. Then, in the coolness of the gardens came the time of courtship. People gave each other flowers, recited poems, and exchanged kisses. As for Firemouth, no one heard from him. Arg! This does not please me at all, stormed, grumbled, and growled the king in his palace. What a bunch of idiots! So they're not scared anymore? They won't listen? They'd rather fool around with those three characters and their nasty dog? Minos of Marauder thought he was a clever man. I have a great idea that will put everything back in order. One night, his ferocious bodyguards captured Cocopod, knocked out a bull, and then smeared red paint, like blood, on one's mouth and the other's throat. Ha ha! So you enjoy a good show, sniggered the contemptuous king to himself. Well then, let's just see what you think of this one. Uh-oh. The sun had just risen when the alarm was raised. The bull lay in the middle of the town square. The news spread faster through the streets than a flame on a long wick. Oh no! Firemouth has struck again. Will we never know peace? Then King Minos appeared, raising his chin and looking superior. He felt triumphant. Behind him, in a dreadful iron cage, his guards dragged in the poor and terrified Cocopod. People trembled in fear. Can it be? The circus dog? Firemouth finally unmasked? The beast certainly had us fooled. Where are its masters? They deceived us. Let's arrest them, judge them, punish them. People felt betrayed, and their anger was rising. All of a sudden, in the midst of this furious brouhaha, rose a young girl's voice, clear and wise. She was standing at the edge of a window and holding up a metal pot dripping with red paint. I saw everything. Cocopod isn't guilty. It's a trick. Look, this isn't blood. It's paint. Confused, the people didn't know what to believe. That is, until the bull woke up. It's alive. But then, so the king is the one who lied? What happened next still makes people laugh today. The bull rose to its feet in a fury and charged at Minos and his guards. No need to say how quickly they snatched up their things and fled from sight. From that day on, the hilarious scene has been played each year in the town square on the Feast of Marauder, which is no longer a kingdom. minus you have learned at your own expense that putting on a show is an art that, alas, you cannot improvise. Sing Harlequin, Perrault, and Capsun, while CocoaPod collects all the hurrahs and the bravos, perhaps even, who knows, those of a music-loving, charmed, and enchanted Firemouth. The end. So, I just want to talk for a second about that connection between Gus and me in this story, The Three Musicians. In Gus and Me, there was a piece of music that Keith Richards wanted to learn to play, and that piece was called Malagueña. Now, the connection is that the artist that inspired this book, Pablo Picasso, was born in Malaga. Now, Malagueña is a song or a traditional song that was normally performed and came from the town of Malaga. Now, as I was reading, there was also music in the background. And this music is also called a Malagueña. It's a different melody than the other Malagueña, but it is still a Malagueña. And again, it's a song from the town of Malaga. Now, these performers that were performing this on their guitars is Celine and Pepe Romero. Now, Celine and Pepe Romero were also born in the town of Malaga. So there's a connection here between this book, The Three Musicians, Pablo Picasso, and the other story, Gus and Me, which had Malagueña. So it just kind of shows how even though they're completely different books, you can see how there's always a connection. Music has a tendency to connect many, many different things. I hope you guys enjoyed this book, and I'll see you next time.